This story was sent to us by someone named Daniel R., who claims this happened to him in Ohio, in the United States. He wrote everything in detail and asked us to share it publicly in case something ever happened to him. What you're about to hear is exactly how he described it. My name is Daniel, I'm 32 years old, and I live alone in a small house in Ohio. I moved into this place about 6 months ago because it was unusually cheap compared to other houses in the area. At the time, I thought I had just gotten lucky, like I found some hidden deal no one else noticed. The neighborhood seemed normal, quiet, nothing strange about it, and the house itself looked fine, just a little old. For the first few weeks, everything felt completely normal. There were no weird sounds, no strange occurrences, nothing that would make me feel uncomfortable. But then one night, everything changed. It was around 2:30 in the morning when I suddenly woke up to a sound that didn't belong. At first, I couldn't tell what it was, but as I stayed still and listened, I realized it sounded like footsteps coming from the basement. Slow, heavy footsteps, like someone was walking directly under my bedroom. I remember holding my breath, trying to convince myself it was just the house settling or some random noise. But then I heard it again, clear as day. Step, step, step. And then it stopped. The silence after that was worse than the sound itself. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and stared toward the hallway where the basement door was. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like I could hear it in my ears. I didn't open the door that night. I just stood there for a few seconds and then slowly backed away and went back to bed, even though I didn't sleep at all. The next morning, I tried to act normal, telling myself it was nothing, that old houses make noises all the time. But when I walked past the basement door, I noticed it was slightly open. I clearly remembered closing it the night before. That moment gave me a strange feeling in my chest, like something wasn't right. I slowly pushed the door open and looked down into the basement. It was completely dark, so I used my phone light and started going down the stairs. Each step made a loud creaking sound, and the air felt colder the further down I went, much colder than it should have been. When I reached the bottom, I looked around and didn't see anything unusual at first. The basement was empty. No signs of forced entry, no broken windows, nothing that suggested anyone had been there. But then I noticed something in the far corner. There was a chair. I didn't remember ever putting a chair there. What made it even worse was the way it was placed. It wasn't just randomly sitting there. It was positioned perfectly, facing the wall, like someone had been sitting there for a long time, just staring at nothing. That image stayed in my mind the entire day. That night, before going to bed, I made sure to lock the basement door. I checked it twice, maybe 3 times, just to be sure. I remember clearly hearing the lock click into place. But around 3 in the morning, I woke up again, and this time it wasn't footsteps. It was a voice. Very faint at first, like a whisper coming from far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I knew it was coming from the basement. My entire body froze. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe properly. I just listened. The whispering continued, low and unclear, and then I heard something that made my blood run cold. The basement door slowly creaked open. I know I locked it. I know I did, but I heard it open, slowly, like someone was pushing it from the other side. The whispering got slightly louder, still not fully clear, but definitely words now. I grabbed my phone again and started recording without even thinking. Maybe I wanted proof, maybe I just didn't trust my own mind anymore. Then I heard footsteps again, but this time they were coming up the stairs. Slow, heavy steps, getting closer with each second. My bedroom door was slightly open, and from my bed I could see a part of the hallway. I couldn't move. I couldn't even blink properly. And then I saw it. A shadow standing in the hallway. It wasn't shaped like a normal person. It was too tall, too thin, and its head was tilted at an angle that didn't look natural. It just stood there, completely still, as if it knew I was watching it. The whispering stopped, and for a moment there was complete silence. Then, suddenly, it moved, fast, faster than anything I had ever seen. It rushed past my door, and I heard it run back down into the basement. After that, everything went quiet again. I stayed awake the entire night, staring at the doorway, waiting for it to come back, but it never did. The next morning, I checked the recording on my phone. At first, it sounded like nothing, just silence and the sound of my breathing. But then I heard it, a voice, clear this time, not a whisper anymore. It said, "Don't let him leave." Hearing that made my stomach drop. I didn't know what it meant, and I still don't know who him is supposed to be. I thought about leaving the house that day, packing my things and never coming back, but something kept me there, like I needed to understand what was happening. That same night, I went down to the basement again, even though every part of me was telling me not to. When I got there, the chair was no longer facing the wall. It had been turned around, now facing the stairs, as if it was waiting for someone to come down. For me. I didn't touch it. I didn't go any closer. I just stood there, feeling like I was being watched from every corner of the room. I ran back upstairs and locked myself in my bedroom. I'm writing this now because I don't think I'm alone in this house anymore. Whatever is down there, it knows I'm here. And last night, I heard something new. Not footsteps, not whispering, but something else. It sounded like someone breathing right outside my bedroom door. If anything happens to me, I want this story out there, because I have a feeling that whatever is in this house doesn't want me to leave.